There are thousands of women in the same boat as you, suffering from Candida, also called yeast infection, fungal infection, or thrush, and struggling with itching, discharge, odors, bloating, severe cramps, depression attacks, toenail fungus, anal itch, and several other symptoms. Sadly, many women were born with it, since it's an infection that is passed along to the baby during pregnancy. It usually becomes extremely acute from the time when a woman ovulates until her period starts, and when she's pregnant. Candida, bacterial vaginosis, and most other vaginal infections and syndromes all have the same root causes, and once you work on addressing these core issues, you will start to heal and all your symptoms will subside. Most women keep struggling with Candida because of the lack of information and the amount of bad information available out there, and most doctors are completely clueless about what Candida is and are unsympathetic to the pains of their patients. Candida was slowly ruining my life, and there was nothing I could do about it. I didn't know what the problem could be, and so I tried all different types of things to solve it. I tried every single medication known to man and nothing worked. I was showering 3 times a day, douching, placing yogurt on the area, using lotions and creams and fragrances, stopped using detergents and wore only cotton underwear, but still, nothing worked. I even did something called vaginal insufflation, where they would blow oxygen into the vagina to kill the Candida, and that didn't make any difference either. One day, after my boyfriend and I had sex without a condom, I noticed that he started itching his balls and his penis went a little red. I knew that I have passed the infection on to him. And that when I decided that this has to end. I could not take it anymore. I decided to do whatever it takes to get rid of this stupid infection, even if I will have to stop eating for a month. So I went online, and Googled a few things. Not too long after, I became sure that I had Candida. I heard of Candida before, but I never suspected that I would have it, since I thought I had a clean and healthy diet and lifestyle. There is no way I could have Candida. Well, the truth was that I was eating unacceptable amounts of fruits that just fueled my Candida to grow bigger and bigger until it literally started taking over my life, and now I had to undo all the damage I unknowingly did to my body. It was overwhelmingly frustrating. It was not until I attended a nutrition seminar that I finally had my breakthrough. Candida is usually there to protect us from mercury, which makes up most of our dental silver fillings that most of us have in our mouths, and leaches into our blood, thus poisoning us over time. When we have Candida, it is usually a sign that we are mercury poison, and the Candida is there to protect us. If it was not for the mercury, the Candida would not be there. I was blown away. That was why, no matter how many antifungals and probiotics I would take and no matter how many months I would stay off sugar, all my efforts were still completely futile. The main culprit was still in my body, and until I get it out, I will never beat Candida. I had already removed my mercury fillings by that time, but since I had them in my mouth for 6 years, I knew that my blood was still largely poisoned with mercury, and that I need to do something to get the mercury out of my body. I felt a sense of relief that I finally figured out why I could never get rid of Candida, and now I could start working on eliminating it the right way, by working on the core issue. And so I did. I researched every protocol for chelating mercury from the body, and again tried everything, and found very few things that worked and actually made a difference, and kept taking them over time to clean my body from mercury. I was very disciplined, and simultaneously, I still took the probiotics, the antifungals, and kept away from sugar. Within a few days, I was starting to notice consistent improvements, and my symptoms were slowly disappearing and becoming less irritating. After a month of mercury detoxification, my health literally transformed. My itch disappeared after a few weeks, and I no longer had a repulsive smell down there. I also used to feel depressed very often in the past, and now, my depression was literally gone, and I was feeling great most of the time. I felt like I was a new person. And it was the best feeling in the world. And I kept feeling better and better. With every new month I would witness a breakthrough in my health and feel younger and more vibrant and alive. I didn't know that Candida was crippling me and robbing me of my life like this. Nutrition and healing became more and more. I learned about everything that had to do with healing Candida. I learned what really works and produces results, and what doesn't. I learned why certain things never work in the long term, and why most of the cures out there are simply just crutches that do nothing but a temporary relief. And I learned that there are several pieces to the puzzle of healing Candida, and if one big piece is missing, such as mercury poisoning, then Candida can never be healed. It took me more than a year to completely heal from Candida, more like 2 years. However, as I kept learning new things, I was discovering even more powerful methods that, had I known about when I first started, I would have healed me much faster. As I incorporated my new learnings into my life, and started applying some of these new methods that I learned, I was shocked by how much better I felt. I was already free of any Candida symptoms, but the amount of improvement and extra energy that I had was unbelievable. I was buzzing with energy throughout the day and sleeping deeper than I ever had before, and I just felt much better. I thought about how everything I learned throughout my healing journey, along with the new methods I was learning, can be put together and refined into a system that can be implemented by anyone who is suffering from the same debilitating symptoms I used to have. And that's what I did. I created and refined a holistic system to tackle Candida from every angle: mercury poisoning, sugar, beneficial bacteria, antifungals, and other, even bigger, pieces of the puzzle that I didn't know about and that nobody else was talking about, a system that would fight the Candida from every direction. Everyone who followed this system got the same results. I also met people who were more unfortunate than me, like a 17-year-old girl who had Candida sexually transmitted to her when she got raped, and another woman whose husband cheated on her without using a condom and then transmitted the infection to her. It was so unfair that these people had to suffer from the debilitating symptoms of Candida and suffer the consequences of someone else's mistakes. It was not their fault. I decided that it was my responsibility to help them out and input out a solution that is easily available to them, and that will heal their infection and give them their normal life back. That when I decided to write a book that provides every single piece of information and guidance a woman needs to heal her, you can have this system get rid of all your unbearable symptoms and have them never come back again. I tried to learn as much as I can from the experiences of these people and what their biggest challenges were, and figure out how they could have healed from Candida faster and more easily. And so, I combined the experiences of all these people with my experience and everything I learned about Candida in the past, and created a refined system for healing Candida in 30 days. I have written a 100-page book that explains this system in great detail, which you can download right now, be reading in 5 minutes, and within the first 30 minutes you will learn at least 6 techniques that will start reducing your pain and eliminating your symptoms immediately.